folks, to the September 11th, 2023 Painesville Township Zoning Commission meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Okay, John Everett.
Here.
Mark.
Here.
John Hott.
Here.
Daryl.
Here.
And Sherman.
Here. Okay, did we get any inquiry from the public, Rachel or Harley?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Everybody who is in the audience, I'm assuming, is on the agenda. Am I correct? Okay. So I'll call the regular meeting to order. And we had a meeting on the July 10th, 2023 minutes was sent out via email. Anybody have any corrections or additions? Hearing none, entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Need a second.
I wasn't here, so I can't do that.
Neither was I.
So
Daryl, you were
has
here.
to be.
I don't remember.
Oh,
think I was.
per Robert's rules.
So Daryl wasn't here either.
Oh,
All
I guess
you're doing is
I
acknowledging.
guess I'll have to second it because I'm doing
Acknowledging the minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I will second it
Yeah, you really don't have to.
because Jim was here. That's right. Jim was here for. That's right. Jim was.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Okay. Mark.
Yes.
John Everett.
Yes.
Daryl.
Abstain.
John Hott.
Abstain.
And Sherman.
Yes.
I'll be here, but
I got a little issue here. Laudra, here's the problem is 3 of the members were not here at the present meeting. Well, we had a quorum because the alternate was here, so we had 3 people here.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, only 2 out of the 3 are here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we do with the minutes?
I mean, you can
Yes.
still vote
Yes, 'cause
yes if you believe that they're accurate and they're, it doesn't necessarily mean that you had to have attended.
Okay.
According to Robert's rules, you really don't have to approve minutes. You can.
Well, that,
You
I
can
just want to make sure.
vote if you want to.
Okay, so we're fine.
Okay.
All right. Motion approved. We have no public hearings. So we go to site plan and architectural reviews. Case 23008 ZC. Architectural review for new paint colors on the exterior of 1518 Mentor Avenue. Charlie Steakhouse and Wings. Please state your name and your address, please.
Michael Allen, 1696 Blue Ash Place, Columbus, Ohio. I'm a construction project manager for Charlie.
can we swear you in too?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Do you swear that what you're about to speak to, you're going to tell the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good.
I didn't know if you. Oh, good. I see you have some renderings of what we're looking to do. Just paint colors.
Okay.
That's kind of our standard. I mean, if you'd like, I've got some photos I brought of some existing stores to kind of give you a little more realistic look if you're interested.
Okay. So basically, you folks already have the store ready, and we're looking for the paint colors for what you want.
Well, we have the property. We're in construction. Had a lot of issues coming up, but yeah, I mean we're about 30-40% complete at the moment.
And you have if I'm reading correctly, you have a public hearing scheduled by the Board of Zoning Appeals, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And that's for the color scheme.
just purely the color scheme.
Okay. Any questions from the commission for the applicant?
one question. My thing here shows the strip around the bottom of the red, part of it yellow and part of it kind of a brown.
Right.
Sure, you can look at it. Something doesn't look right.
O'Reilly's. It's next door to it.
Well, no,
See the yellow here?
this is the other half of the building. This is a separate entity.
Okay,
This was
that's
the
why I
bank.
asked,
Yeah,
because-
no, they demised the space that
uh,
was the bank, took out all the drive-through stuff that was over here for the bank. So, of course, the owner doesn't want us to move with our colors over to the space that he's still trying to rent.
okay. Yeah, because they have to change it. Okay, that's why I wondered.
No problem.
Anybody
That
else?
was a perfectly good answer.
Anybody else have questions? I got a question, sir.
Sure.
You're in the district with the Harley, help me out with this. We're in the
The
Western Reserve
commercial.
District.
Yeah, the Western Reserve. It's the commercial design
And
corridor.
and the reason why you went reason why you go into the Board of Appeals is because of the bright red that you're asking for in that top color, or am I wrong?
As far as I know, it was for any change of the colors to what's existing from that the landlord has
Okay.
painted the building.
Gotcha.
Mr. Chairman,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to state that they are not being seen by the BZA for the color. I'm not sure where that's indicated. But no, Charlie's will be going before the BZA, but they will be going before the BZA tomorrow for a conditional use permit for outdoor dining, for the removal of the strip of landscape between the building and the sidewalk because
Okay.
they want to incorporate outdoor dining. And then they're also doing a variance request for their freestanding sign.
Okay.
But the colors themselves, because it is because it is subject to the architectural review, the authority for those revisions lies with
Gotcha.
us.
Thank you.
And those other items she's talking about are all being brought by the landlord himself,
Yes.
not us. So.
Yes.
My question is that I see the red on the other building.
Mhm.
It's a little bit, I guess, dark, a little bit not as bright. And I'm just wondering, in my opinion, how the bright red would go with it go in this area for the Western Reserve look. I'm looking at the other, the not as bright red on it's on the existing building. We can take that and take that red all the way around. Would that cause any problem with the Charlie Steakhouse?
I don't think
brand.
so. I think we could adapt to that. The whole thing with this is kind of an unusual situation, the way the grounds are and everything are here because we set so far back. We're not getting a monument sign or anything out by the road, but there's this big, huge sign for the car parts place.
Right.
And so we're trying to do anything we can to bring our standard looks, into this that somebody driving by might go, oh, because all of our stores have these colors. I'd have to check with the landlord to see what the color was that he used for that red. The thing in that picture, that's a rendering versus a real picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because in that it almost looks like it has a little bit of an orange cast to it rather than
Yeah.
I think we use it.
I apologize for interrupting, Mr.
No.
Chairman, but because of its prevalence to the case, this is the approved accent color when painting over an existing color. If you were to leave the red, there's currently a red band in
There is,
place
yes.
right now that is being covered with the rendering. If that is the case. So this red is existing in this area. So if they wanted to leave this, they would be legal non-conforming. But if you were to change the color, staff's recommendation would be to meet this accent color standard. If that's,
Seems awfully dark.
it is a deep red
Very
because of the Western Reserve architecture, and because it's being utilized as an accent color. The purpose behind it is to mute the brightness.
How did he
but
get the red to begin with then? Because it's not that.
that predates our our current standards. So if you were to match the existing, just to update it and freshen it to match the newness of the paint, that would be considered legal nonconforming. Just the upkeep of something that is currently legal nonconforming.
No,
But
I
if you
have
were
no
to
problem.
change
I mean,
the shade,
I
this
have-
would be the recommendation, but it is ultimately
Yeah,
in the commission's
to be honest with
hands.
you, I wouldn't care for that just because it is so muted. If that's your decision, I mean, I go back to my powers that be, and when they question me and say, why does that red look different, and you're supposed to use X, Y, Z, I'll just say, hey, that's what the township told me to do. So,
Everything else, in my opinion, not going for I'm not talking for the commission, I'm talking for myself. Everything else in that picture, I mean that rendition, is good. The color scheme is good. This is only for the color scheme we're talking about.
right,
The
exactly.
color scheme is fine. I mean, I think for the Western Reserve look, if you're looking at it that way, and if we can get that red to be a little bit less bright and be something like similar to
No,
what
I understand.
And also, the red behind you at Charlie's would show up better. What it is now just fading out to nothing.
I'm just throwing it out to you.
In this picture I
No,
see here.
actually, you're absolutely correct. Usually, the sign band is below that red band,
Yeah.
on the gray area or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, that would pop it out a little more too.
Mark?
Yeah, I have no issue with that whatsoever. If you're good with the other colors, I mean,
Okay.
those are very muted. It's just 2 shades of gray.
So more of a question of the red, is the lettering, cheesesteaks and all that to be in the one that you showed as the approved color of red, or is the lettering not the same?
So the lettering can be handled similarly to the paint color because of the way that the guidelines are written. So the colors of the art could be
Charlie's
subject to our standards. So from a staff perspective, my recommendation would be that whichever red is decided upon match the red on the building,
red and the color.
and if the red on the awning, technically the red on the awning should match. However, the commission has the discretionary ability now. I think what is being presented is a great improvement from what was previously there in terms of it meeting our architectural standards, or our design guideline standards rather, because the architecture is not changing. But because of this improvement, I actually kind of prefer the red band sort of blending into the other red band from my perspective, just looking at our design standards. But again, the discretion is at the commission's.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the signs were already approved.
It is within your hands. I can give my recommendation all day long, but at the end of the day, however you choose to interpret that section and what would be
No,
best.
I have no problem with that.
I was trying to get it to stand out, is what they're trying to do, because he's got
Yes.
no signage in front, and so.
Yes.
But I thought the signs and the canopy were already approved.
So the signage is approved. The color scheme.
No, I just mean the canopy's part of it comes from our sign vendor. And so that's part of the sign package that was submitted.
Well, because it was part of the sign package.
I have no problem with this. I have no problem with that a bit. I have no problem with this a bit at all.
Well, that'd be something else we'd bring to your attention at another point. I mean,
Yeah.
those are
I
graphics that we
guess
use.
for me, I mean, the white on the Charlie Steakhouse in the front looks good. If we get a consistent red, I mean, from the top and the lettering.
Can I show you something in a second? Because I think you'll find that it actually, I don't know that red is actually, this is two photos of an actual.
Okay, now this gets closer. See how this is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This in particular was that's a material awning versus the metal.
Yeah.
Okay, but I like the color of that red though.
That's what I'm saying too. It's a little more muted than what.
I'm looking too at this over here,
Yes.
and
And again, that's
the red there
Yeah.
is a little less stark than this.
And that one on there looks like it's almost the same thing. So we get something like
That's what I'm saying. I just wanted the paint color from the
Yeah.
landlord.
That'd be-
What I was looking at here, your part,
Yes,
this
the
from
back.
Charlie's,
Yeah.
just almost fades right into the
so to me, if you could get
facade of the building.
No, I agree. I have no issue with that.
What, I'm just saying, what red are we,
Well,
Yeah,
we
maybe
use called
either that
Sherwin
color
Williams Real Red.
right there
yeah,
or something like this.
yeah. So,
Actually,
not the burgundy style, the deeper
Oh, no.
one there.
Not the loud one.
I sat in the parking lot across the street at the mall, at the shopping center, and I looked at that today. And that red really does stand out nice. And the white, the sign's not up there yet, but the picture here, and I believe the picture here too, this picture is more accurate than this one is. This is not showing it faded. The auto parts store really is almost orange. It's faded out quite a bit, and the red really makes it stand out better. They would be better off if they would go ahead and paint that same red all the way around. Also, if you look at 2 or 3 buildings to the right, there is a blending of several colors. And when we talk about colors for a certain section of the town, somebody driving through would probably never be able to put that together that way. The red that you have there is a nice red, the one that we recommend. This one is not too far off, but the auto parts store is more orange right now than it is red in my estimation.
It's not O'Reilly's, is it? No.
So it'd be nice if the red would, whatever red it would be, would go all the way around
I
the
have no
auto parts
problem
store.
with that.
It'd bring more attention to that building.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
So you have red on the brick, and you have red signs over to the right, and there's gray.
Yeah.
But basically, the color is all kind of the brick is a little
Yeah, so you're
darker
talking
than it's
about
red.
rallies and that.
Yeah, if we can just get that consistent red like that, sir, that'd be fine.
And you can see that red there on the auto parts store there is does not look nearly the same as that picture does right now. It's faded quite a bit.
Faded,
I think it looks like it's faded.
Over time, yeah.
I don't think we'll put it in that way, that color to start with.
Like I said, I've got a good relationship with Jay, the landlord. It's no problem. I'll get the paint color and we'll just
Okay.
match that. If you're okay with the other colors.
I would say if it's something like that red that you were showing us, that little like, what was it, less,
More muted.
yeah, a little muted. I think I'd prefer. My opinion, I would prefer that rather than the.
But in this case, you don't want me to go away from, I mean, even if, let's say it was a little more muted than the one next to it. I mean, isn't it better for me to match?
Or you
It's
can
there
just
now.
match it as much as you can.
Yeah, O'Reilly doesn't even hardly look red at all on this picture,
I know.
No, it's just.
but
it's
it
very
is
faded.
kind of an orangish
I get
red.
that now, yeah. I'd like to have a little more muted if it's OA with the commission. Like a muted red, sir.
This is before the remodel.
Right.
So it has the drive-through for the bank and everything.
Yeah.
Is that gone?
Yeah, it's completely gone. From
How close is our,
I came down through there, but I didn't really get it placed.
I mean, we're about where that white wall is to
Yes.
the left of that.
Yeah.
Everything's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
all
those,
this
the,
is-
what's
Okay.
left is split into 2 spaces.
Gotcha. Alright, if any, commission is okay with a muted, I'll call it a muted red color. Everything else will
What
be,
is the name of the red that you use?
We use it's called Sherwin-Williams Real Red. I mean, I'm a little nervous when you say just a muted red because there's already a red there that you're saying you want me to reuse, and if I do, I don't know how muted that's going to be.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
what we could do is this, I'll tell you what, I think our talk area here, looking at, we like something a little bit more, less bright red, okay? A little bit less bright red. And you usually go with the Sherwin-Williams red color. So what I'm thinking is, if the commissions would be okay with it, is that what we'll do is, in a motion, say, call it I'll call it a muted red for lack of a better word,
Okay.
and then have Harley and the zoning inspector would approve the final color, and what you would propose, and let them make the final decision. And then we can go, if that would be okay with the commission and with the applicant, then that would be the motion that we'd be looking for.
The only concern I have is that if we're not matching what the landlord has already painted there, we're gonna have that line that starts our store and goes across. So, okay, all right.
Well, the other opportunity, the other way to look at it too is, depending on what goes on, you may have to come back for the balance of the building
Yes.
or an architectural review. Then you pick them up and make it match,
Yep. Then we make a match.
and we make
Absolutely.
it match him.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if I could add one thing, the red stripe being part of Charlie's branding,
That's correct.
I think it would be ideal for that red stripe to be limited to the Charlie's unit, and hopefully whomever is moving in next eliminates the red and yellow stripe altogether would be preferable. Now, the deeper red that we have is more close. I think it's called heritage red, and the striking difference between the deeper tone and the browns, I think, would probably look more appealing than something that is more light and matching the faded red that's currently on the building. With the intent that hopefully every red that is on the building is this red eventually. That the reason why we created this is so that hopefully eventually everybody matches this or as close as possible to it.
Just tell me what to do.
So what I would like to suggest, Mr. Chairman, if you're comfortable with it, that the applicant provide their if there's a word for
Examples?
this, yeah, it's the hexagonal numbers or something like that. They should be able to provide. It's the RGB decimal is how we establish the RGB numbers here. If you could provide what you would like to do, and real red being, I would assume, a deeper red than whatever's currently on the building. I would suggest going with a deeper red, the deepest that your
brand would allow.
Well,
is ideal.
we accommodate. I mean, we want to be a good neighbor to begin with. I mean, we're not trying to force something. We're not McDonald's. We don't have that kind of power for the most part. But I mean, yeah, we would appreciate any consideration for what our standards are. So you're just looking for those numbers for that particular color to compare to what you have.
Yes, if you
That's
could
not an
provide
issue.
those, and if Mr. Chairman is
Just gotta
comfortable
Google it.
with it, that be reviewed and then processed at the administrative level.
Is it possible that we could see this revised work, or that you will, and then
She will.
that's
She will. I think.
that's the recommendation,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
otherwise, we're holding him up another
Correct.
30 days.
We don't want to
and
be
I
the
don't
one
wanna
to
do
hold
that.
you up.
Well, we got enough
I
work.
don't
then.
want to hold them up.
Okay.
And again, for aesthetic purposes, I think that red band matching the red on the awning.
It is. They are the same colors. That's what we use for the awning as well.
I think that would be preferable than adding a different shade of red on the top versus on the awning versus on the signage on the window. Having those varying shades will probably look less appealing than
I'll get that to
if
you in
it
the
was all
morning.
cohesive.
And I think staff is more apt to be able to get the colors
Right.
that's correct, more correct. So I would just say that a motion would be to have the building, the color scheme that we're showing today is approved, except for the red around the building, on top of the building, be closer to a heritage red that will be approved. The final color rendition would be approved by staff, by the zoning.
That's fine
If you
with
call
me.
me tomorrow, during
Yeah,
business hours, we can discuss it.
No
That
problem.
would be the motion I'm looking for. At least I'm looking for. Now
You
maybe
need
somebody
to-
else has
you-
different.
Do you need to state that motion, or is it? Do we have a philosophical awareness of how that motion is supposed to read?
Well, first of all, maybe that's what the commissions would like, or they want something different.
Yeah, we can move on ahead. I'll so move as you've said.
Okay. Okay. The motion is this: that the colors presented tonight is approved, with the exception of the red top of the building, and the approved color will be determined by staff, zoning staff, that would be applicable to the Western Reserve
Scheme.
theme.
Okay.
All right. That would be the motion.
And that motion does not have anything to do with any lettering.
No,
Correct.
we're just talking about the building color.
Just in his.
Okay.
Daryl said you
Daryl
made the motion.
made the motion. I would be happy to second that.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Okay, John Hott,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
Don Everett,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
and Chairman.
Yes. I should say no. Because that's what Daryl would say. I mean, not Daryl. Our previous guy would say no. Yes, it's fine.
Is that a drive-through window up there on the
Yes,
side?
it is. Yeah, we were here the last time and went over the drive-through issue.
Sir, it's approved as amended. And,
Yes, thank you.
And then you and the staff can get together and get the color. We trust the staff will do a good job.
She's
All right.
been amazing to work with.
All right.
So you know. And if you don't mind, I got a long drive back to
Go right
Columbus,
ahead.
so
Enjoy.
It's a long ride.
I'll
to
talk
this
to
little
you
Special
side.
by yourself. and-
Have a safe trip.
I've driven it before.
Okay. The next case 23009ZC, is a site plan review for a 15,000 square foot addition onto a pre-existing industrial building, Accurate Metals. Are they here?
We are,
We are here.
Yeah.
Accurate is here.
Don Plunkett, 2451 Stratford Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth to this body?
I do.
Okay, Don, please explain what you're.
We are adding a 15,000 square foot addition on the rear of Accurate Metals Machining. They've been through a couple previous additions, and we're matching the materials, the split face on the lower level, the metal panel that's on the building, same roof slope. And again, it's at the rear of the building. You're not going to see anything from the front. And again, it's going to be combination, mostly warehousing. It'll be some machining or factory, but again, most of it's warehousing. They are putting some restrooms in there just for convenience, so employees don't have to travel as far to the front restrooms.
I remember that. Last time you put some up front. That one we saw. Last time we got another one.
Possibly. I was not involved
Okay.
in the last one, so I'm not sure.
And they did some remodeling.
They did remodel. Yes, the bathrooms they did.
Yeah.
They did. I noticed that they did a remodeling of those. So that was probably that. But again, some of it's the distance because those are about in the middle of the original building, and so I guess to save employee time and
Okay.
convenience, they're adding some more.
I just have one question, and I don't know if it has anything to do with it. How are you gonna access from one building to the other? Is this
We
gonna
are
be open
putting-
through your?
We are not the entire thing because a lot of it's going to have racking above it.
Yeah.
We've got an opening that's about, I think it's 14 feet, and then we just have a couple man doors. We are providing framing and knockout panels so they could add a overhead door to the north, but the owner doesn't want one as of yet.
Yeah.
But we made sure we don't have X bracing there, and then done control joints so they can
Yeah, do that.
neatly take a section out and put an overhead door.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea.
Any other questions from the?
Does, Don, is it, Don?
Yes, Don.
Don, is this extension, or is 15,000 going to affect your employee counts or parking requirements? Or?
We really don't add many employees because, again, a lot of it, if they put equipment in, they're the big CDC machines, and they probably won't go there. They'll probably go into existing space they have. But they're not I mean, we've added some parking spaces. Land Design did that. They've shown the parking. We're in the process of getting that approved because they've had to take some trees out in the back, because basically what we've done is put our parking that used to be where our addition is back a little further. But Land Design has taken that to the county. I think they meet this week. I'm not sure. I have to find out.
And Mark, on page 2, under proposed parking, they have parking requirements. Required number of spaces is 139, and the number of proposed spaces is 260.
And a big reason for that is the shift change. Because for a very short period of time, they almost use all their parking spaces until they run a tight ship there. Anyway.
All right. Any other
I know I was
comments from the?
going back there today, but the parking lot you added on was not full, but I noticed it only had one entrance to it, so you had to turn around and get back up, come back out, which seemed a little bit odd, but I couldn't tell where your line was. I presume, Harley, that all of the drafts and everything like that is showing the right distance from the lot lines and everything.
Yes, yes.
But I did, although there's a lot of cars there.
There are.
Yeah.
And again, it's not every time the shift change they use them all. I don't know if they have meetings or something where they have more people staying a little longer. Most of the times when I've been there during like the shift change, those back spaces really aren't too full. But there are occasions I heard when they are. So they don't want to be putting cars out on calendar or anything like that. Yeah.
No. Any other questions from the commission?
Just want to say it's good to have people with confidence in a township, so all that industry helps us a lot. So.
And I think they're excited to be here. I mean,
Staff report?
Mr. Chairman, I don't see anything worth noting in terms of any potential negative effects, any encroachments into required setbacks. Staff recommendation would be to approve as submitted.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions? Mark?
No, I would make a motion to approve.
Site plan as shown? All right. I need a second.
I'll second it.
All right. I got a second from John.
John Square.
Okay. Any comment? Any comments on the motion? Hearing no comments. Roll call, please.
Okay, John Everett,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Daryl,
Yes.
John Hott,
Yes.
and Sherman.
Yes. Your site plan has been approved.
okay, thank you. And if a quick note, Harley was very good to work with. She wasn't too rough on me or anything like that. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate Harley helping us out also.
He does not do your evaluation.
All right. Okay. There's no new business. Any old business? We didn't have any closed public hearings. No items for public hearing. Zoning inspector's report.
I have nothing to add, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Any further other business to come before the commission? Hearing none, our next meeting will be Monday, October 9th, 2023. Adjournment at 7:05. Folks, have a nice rest of your day.
You too.